Two village idiots with a love-hate relationship.
See, you got fat.
See, you still look like a 15-year-old girl, but not hot.
Who can't stop arguing over Oklahoma sports.
You know what, man? Why am I still talking to you?
Come on, we were doing good there, man.
It's the Just Okay Sports Podcast, hosted by Troy and Daryl.
Sooner Nation, Thunder Nation, we are back. This is the Just Okay Sports Podcast. That's just Oklahoma sports and just an average podcast, all in one. I am one of your hosts, Daryl, and I am here by myself today as Troy and Jared could not make it. Jared is too busy being on a week-long date with his lady friend and doing work stuff. Troy's had all kinds of things going as well. I know we have not done this in a long time, but we're back and it's here. So if you are enjoying this, please don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, do all the things. Leave us some comments, even if you think it's trash. Put that in the comments. It gets us out there. So all press is good press, so we'll take all of it. We're going to be talking Oklahoma Sooners with a big win this week, and we're also going to be talking the Thunder, who just continue to roll no matter what the circumstances or who is on the court. And so let's dive right into it and get it going if you don't mind. Oh, and I know what's about to happen here. Yes, my background is blurred, but that's a Christmas tree. It's the second Christmas tree in our home. It is November 4th. There are 2 Christmas trees up in my home. There are garland decorations above the doors of my kids' rooms. Yes, my wife is all in. All the Halloween is down. All of it's down. It is full on Christmas mode from now until probably the end of January. So it is what it is, and I'm not going to lie. I don't mind it. Matter of fact, I don't like cold weather, but Christmas trees up and all. I'm ready for the weather to come down a bit, fire up the fireplace, and just have it cozy and going. I love Christmas time. So I'm not looking forward to putting the lights on the house on the outside, but you know what? The Lord's given us warm weather, and so thanks for that. So I don't have to be miserable while I do it. So yes, it's there. Let me know, by the way, in the comments. Is your wife already got all the Christmas stuff up, or are you going to not put anything up or procrastinate until Christmas Eve? How do you operate in this season? But for our home, it is all in all the time, and so that's what's going down here at the house. So hopefully I can make this a fun pod all by myself. I don't like doing them by myself, but we're going to do it anyway. OU gets a huge win. Brent Venables gets a huge win on the road. And let's just be clear about the circumstances and the context around this game. OU's just lost a game that they probably should have won. And in a game where not only did your quarterback play terrible, he's played terrible 2 of 3 games, right? Played awful in the Texas game. Looked like a little bit of a bounce back at South Carolina. Wasn't great, but it was good on the road, and you thought, okay, maybe he's bounced back. He looked maybe worse against Ole Miss. The defense had struggles, which, by the way, not getting to recap the Ole Miss game. I don't know what it is about Lane Kiffin, but he understands how to attack a Brent Venables defense. I believe he is 5-0 against Brent Venables as an offensive coordinator or head coach. I don't know what it is that he's got on Brent, but he knows what's coming, and he calls it. And there were several times in that game where the blitz was coming, they had the perfect call against it. They dropped, they have the perfect call against it. Maybe he's stealing the signals because he wanted to make such light of that before the game. Sure felt like you knew exactly what was coming. I thought I'd call Brent up and just let him know, Lane, hey, I've never seen an offense just completely move the entire line towards a completely perfectly disguised blitz over here, or a perfect call against what looks like cover 2 but ended up being man-to-man across the board. It was really incredible. I've never seen that before. Just playing a little bit there. But again, Lane made those comments, went that way, and I don't know what it is, but man, Brent really struggles against Lane Kiffin, and it showed. And your quarterback, again, played horrendous, and you still had a chance to win that game. And so again, that's the context of coming into this game. And now your back's against the wall. I still believe this team can lose one more game and we'll talk about that in a little bit and then get in the playoff, but Tennessee's back's against the wall as well. They lose another one, they're out for sure. And you got to go on the road to one of the most hostile environments, definitely top 5 hostile road environments in all of college football. Your quarterback's not playing well. By the way, you're also playing 3 true freshmen who all have less than 6 starts in their careers. Foje, his second. EPL, I believe, was his second or third, something like that. That is usually a recipe for some problems on the road. And instead, you go in and get a win. And it was a big one. Let's talk about some of it as well. Tennessee came into this game averaging 504 yards per game, scoring 43.6 points per game. Now, obviously, against their stiffer competition, not so much, but still up there near the 30s, mid-30s in their scoring. Oklahoma ends up holding them to 456 yards of offense and 27 points. At home, pretty good. And when you really break down, at least by the drive summary, in the first quarter, they had drives that totaled 178 first quarter yards, and in the second, 116. Now, the math is not working exactly because there's some penalty yardage in there, right? But either way, they moved the ball 293 yards, whether by penalty or by yardage in the first half. So that means true movement of the ball in the second half is 160 some odd yards, right? And somehow, some way, you only give up 10 points. And let me tell you how. It's called turnovers. It's the thing we have been waiting for this defense to do. And in the midst of that, one of the reasons those turnovers were created is because you hold this team to 63 rushing yards total in the game. It was an unbelievable defensive performance. And it's what we've been waiting on. The defense has been solid. They've been in their positions. They're holding teams. But when you don't get turnovers, it's an absolute game changer. It changes everything. You can play the greatest defense ever, but if you're not creating turnovers, it's really tough to hold a team out from scoring points. But when you get turnovers, and especially turn those turnovers into 7 points for you, and I think you could probably argue more like 10 to 13 points because of the returns that they had on a couple of those interceptions. Huge in the game. This is a great win. And by the way, can we also, let me just bring this up. Our last year in the Big 12, where we really saw Brent Venables' defense begin to turn the corner a little bit, we went through an entire Big 12 schedule with not one holding call. Not one. Nowhere. Now, Brent Venables is known for tackles for loss. And in that year, that defense did pretty well to get tackles for loss. He is known for stunting. He is known for blitzing. Like all those things that lead to offensive lines screwing up and holding. Not one. I don't know how many holding calls we have right now generated, but I am pretty sure it's less than 5. For a defense that is top 5 in sacks in the country, top 5 in havoc rate, top 5 probably top 10 in blitz rate. Like how? How, SEC? How can your officials ref this team and go back to the tape afterwards and go, I think we did a pretty good job not calling one holding call? There were 4 to 6 that were just blatantly obvious. And the bigger problem is, as a fan, is those big and obvious ones come on huge plays. One in specific is a 3rd down and like 13. And R. Mason Thomas is just getting wrapped from behind and put in an absolute chokehold and wrestled to the ground. Referee's right there. Like, somehow, some way, R. Mason still gets close to Aguilar. We're good. It's fine. No big deal. Now, there's another later on, I believe it's Halton, that's just getting his whole collar just yanked back. You've got an offensive lineman 3 yards away from Halton, but his jersey somehow is stretched out. And again, the judge is right there, the head lineman right there. Nothing. We're not going to call that. No, it's good. I mean, you got defensive ends like Wine just getting straight up wrapped around the waist and tackled to the ground on the edge, not the interior, on the edge. Not called. And these are massive because even if they're not third down plays and even if they're not other, you're talking about taking, there was one in particular, I believe it was like a 2nd and 2 yards, and they only got like 3 yards. Okay, well, no big deal. But the problem is if you call that, you now turn that into 2nd and 12. They're off schedule. Who knows what happens, especially with the way Aguilar was playing. Now you can really heat him up. You can disguise some things, and who knows if he just throws another one and throws another pick in the game. So those things swing the game so much. And I put this on Twitter. If you are a referee reffing an NBA basketball game and you know that you are reffing a team that is the highest drive rate team in the NBA, you know you're going to end up calling some fouls. There's going to be some free throws. It's just the way it is. And I just don't we know that these referees meet with both coaches and themselves throughout the game. How do you not meet and go, hey, we blitz a lot. Can y'all please be looking for the whole? How do you as a referee team go, hey, look, this team's going to be blitzing a lot. Be really watching the trenches. Because they create a lot of havoc. But apparently, what these refs do is get together and go, hey, they create a lot of havoc and get a lot of sacks. They don't need any holding calls. It appears as though that's the stance of the SEC refereeing crews. Hey, don't worry about it. Not to mention, by the way, in this game, you had other things that went down as well. You've got a ridiculous DPI call on Guillory. You also had a moment where RSJ gets an interception, returns it a good chunk down the field. I say that. I don't remember if it was RSJ or Peyton Bowen's intercept. Either way, tackled to the ground. Well, 3, 4, 5 seconds after the play is over, referee is coming over to collect the football, and a Tennessee player rears back and punches in the gut of Peyton Bowen like he's punching at the ball. But as we're resetting, was there a flag thrown? Absolutely not. Nah. Again, a huge, huge play because now that would have pushed us another 15 yards forward. And instead of just being managing to the point of we're just going to get a field goal out of this, maybe you take a shot and who knows, you might go into half 20-10 instead of 16-10. So these are massive no calls. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And again, I don't have the access of being able to just Google up how many holding calls our D-line has generated, but the least number probably in the league. And yet, maybe the number 1 or number 2 havoc creating defense in the league. Thank you, SEC. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. I know that everyone said the SEC officiating's been bad, but that's just basic stuff. Just give us 1 or 2 holding calls in a game. It just makes no sense. And I don't know how you change that. I don't know what Brent Venables and his staff or the athletic director and everybody, I don't know how they do that, but there needs to be a letter sent to the SEC office saying, look, you guys have got to start looking for some holding calls because they're game changing. The Texas game was another one, a great example of that. That game is still super tight. And the guard literally just tackles one of our D tackles as they're breaking free to go get a sack on Arch Manning. But no call. We're fine. Everything's good. Now, I still think we lose that game because Mateer was awful. But those are things that change the whole outlook of it. Is that game end up being a 1-score game instead of a 3-score game? How does all this impact it? You've got to start calling some holds, SEC. You've got to. It's got to happen. Now, thank goodness that despite that, the defense still created havoc. They still had a heck of a day. And those 3 turnovers are the difference in the game. They really, really are. It was just, I don't know what we got to do about this, but it needs to change. It needs to change, and somebody needs to do it. Now, moving on to other things in the game. I get a moment here to gloat. I went and watched Xavier Robinson in high school. I tweeted about it from our account. I wasn't really sure about what kind of back he would be in college. I was excited to get to go watch him. I was very lucky to be on the sidelines of that game. And I walked away from that game saying his feet and athleticism is so much better than I thought they were. Watching it in person and knowing he was going to come to OU and probably trim a little weight because he had some bad weight, and to watch the game I got to watch him play, he wasn't just scaring high school kids to death that were making business decisions to run away from him. He was juking guys and leaving them in the dust. And I said, this guy's got to play. And I said last year, I didn't understand how he didn't get run earlier in the season when you knew last year your O-line wasn't just not good, it was trash. And a guy that weighs 230 pounds running up into the hole is at least going to fall forward for yardage instead of you trying to use all of your little scat backs back there who are getting tackled for loss and putting you behind the chains every single time. I have been screaming for example. Heck, let's go back to the Michigan pregame pod with our guys from the Michigan Insider going, why is Xavier Robinson not playing? He's your best running back. That was their words. Now, I like Torrey Blaylock. I think he's phenomenal. I still think Taylor Tatum might be the best natural runner of the football on the whole team, but he can't hold on to the football, and he hasn't been healthy. Xavier Robinson last year showed he was the best back in this backfield. Held on to the football, tough yards, broke big runs, because that's the thing, right? Everybody's like, oh, he weighs 230. What's he going to do? Well, he only broke a couple 30, 40, 20, and even, I think, a 50-yarder last year in SEC play. I reached out to another podcast and was kind of laughed at. I said, why is no one talking about Xavier Robinson? We keep talking about Jade Knott. We keep talking about Torrey Blake. Like, what's the deal? Like, what does he got to do? And look, I know somebody who got to go see preseason fall camp practice, spring ball practice, and said the first rep he got to see of team session, Xavier Robinson takes it to the house from about 25, 30 yards out. I mean, what's the guy got to do? Are we all good now with saying that Xavier Robinson's good? Because I've been screaming it since high school. Give the man the rock. Torrey Blaylock's going to be a very good back, and Torrey Blaylock's going to bust some big ones. He's going to bust some 80-yarders, some 70-yarders at some point in his career. He's going to take some swing passes, and he's going to take them that. There's no doubt about that. But to act like Xavier Robinson is just this piece over here that can't be used for whatever reason, and we're all enamored with the speed and then this and that. And then again, we do the same thing with him that everybody's done with Samaje Perine in the NFL. Every time you hear a commentator that doesn't know what they're talking about, it's like, well, you know, he's not really a guy that can catch the ball. Why? Because he's 230 pounds? So we're going to pretend that guys that are over 220 pounds just can't catch the ball and they're just fullbacks and they're not good for anything. The guy's a great athlete. He is a patient runner. He sees the holes really well. Does a great job of cutting back when he can. Does a great job running through trash. Thank you that I get to pat myself on the back, not on the chest, but on the back. Been saying it forever. And the guy needs to play. And he needs to be given the rock even more than 16 times. In this game, on 15 carries, I think he would have had like 74 yards. You know, just 5 a carry. Whereas we've been doing, 2.8 a carry the whole season? So, hey, look, Jade Knott, appreciate you. You gave us a lot of buzz in the offseason. We'll take that money and reallocate it to other places, but I think we're good. And if you can get Taylor Tatum back next year healthy and with his mind right and all the things, you've got a 3-headed monster there that's really good. And then if you are able to go poach the Penn State running back that apparently is thinking about OU, I think you're okay there. And let's put the money into bringing some guys back that love this university and that have given a lot and have shown they can play in the SEC. Let's do it. Which, speaking of which, can we also see some Jacob Jordan at some point? Like when the offense is stagnant, can we just get Jacob Jordan some run? A guy who came out of nowhere last year in the SEC with a quarterback that wasn't any good and was getting open and winning and catching the football. I mean, I'm just saying. And by the way, I believe he's had one snap this season, and was like a 30-yard catch and nearly took it to the house. But we can't get him on the field at all on any rotation basis. I mean, I don't know. Number 2, Guillory for me, player-wise. Dude's going to be a stud. Now, yes, he made 2 really bad tackle attempts. Facts. But let's also be clear that 12 months ago that this guy could probably put his shoulder into just about anybody and get him to the ground, right? So I get it and yet don't get it. You got to wrap up. But I also believe that those are 2 big enough plays that he's going to get to go watch and he's going to get to go see and go, okay, I got to wrap up. I think he'll learn. And I think we have seen that with him the whole season. That first game against Auburn and all the smoke that he took off that game, he's done what? Done nothing but correct and improve. We've seen him in the course of a game correct and improve. He's gotten better and better and better. And barring injury and barring him turning into an idiot off the field and doing something stupid off the field, this kid's going to be a superstar next year. Him and Eli Bowen are going to put things on lock next year. The seatbelt will be full, strapped down next season with those 2 guys. Thought he had a heck of a game, had a big assignment. Heupel loves doing the super wide splits and creating all kinds of space. He handled it really, really well on the road, played great. Now, offensively, I want to start here because one guy that I feel like is kind of taking some heat, and as you listen to OU fans online, as you go into the message boards and in our Discords and all the different things, yeah, Burks just isn't. Okay, can I just tell you, Burks is failing right now because of John Mateer. I mean, again, the first drive last week, Burks should have had a 30-yard touchdown that Mateer never looks at. It's wide open. In this game, there was one play where Mateer kind of steps up in the pocket. Burks is coming around on kind of one of those sail routes on the back end. He is wide open. The corner on the left side is down on a short route. Burks is open for days. If Mateer just turns it loose and puts it out in front of him, it's a touchdown all day. Mateer never turns it loose, runs, gets tripped up, and gets like a 2-yard gain. I mean, he's winning a lot of reps. And he's not being seen, and he's not being given the ball, and I feel for him. I think if you had the all-22 tape, and I think if you're an NFL scout, I think what you're going to see is a guy that's winning a lot and just is not getting the football. And so, now, did he have a terrible couple drops in the game? Yeah, he did, and that's on him, for sure. And maybe that's what part of it is. I don't know. But all I can tell you is that as I watch the tape, I'm seeing lots of reps where he's open and he's winning and he's not being given opportunity. And look, that gets in your head too. Like we all know that wide receivers are divas, and we all know that they all believe they're open on every single play. We get all that. But you also know that sometimes a quarterback just prefers other guys, and despite the fact that you're getting open, they just choose not to throw you the football. And when that begins to happen, you still do your job, but you're not really looking for the football. Like you don't really run your route expecting it to show up. And so maybe that's what's kind of leading to some of Burke's drops. I don't know. But him and Mateer have got to get on the same page, and they got to get some things working because the guy's winning and he's explosive. I mean, I feel like we're seeing a more explosive version of him than we did last year as far as just how he looks moving on the field. And you've got to get the ball in his hands. And Satania just continues to be great. Get that. Another highlight from the game, the O-line. Look, man, essentially 2 true freshmen and a redshirt freshman in EPL playing. All 3 with 5 or less starts. And you hold up on the road. Did you have some bad reps? Yeah. And I will echo what Gabe said in their Sunday review of the game. Yeah, there's a lot that's not great. A lot's too much. There's some things that aren't good, but the physicality The knockback, the I'm here to take your soul attitude is all over EPL's game. And this O-line needs it because Michaela ain't got that in him. I think Fasusi does, but I feel like a guy that just plays to that edge naturally is actually helping it come out of Fasusi. And I feel like it's helping it come out of Foje. But those guys overall played a very good game here. And I know we said in the Michigan game we got our 5. Okay, well, injuries and everything else has led to it. EPL's got to play more. And he needs to work on his game, no doubt. Foje needs to keep working on his game. Fasusi needs to keep working on his game. But those guys' ability is finally the type of talent that the O-line needs. And that's been my complaint with Bill Bedenbaugh for the last 4 or 5 years. The talent level is just not there across. Yeah, you got, Tyler Guyton out here who's a first-round pick. Who else on that line was good? Like, who else on that line are you going, woo? Andrew Rame? Like, I'm sorry. And I know the guy's still, I believe, bouncing around the NFL, but he ain't, like, changing anything. And so now you've got 3 dudes. And I think even Michaela, if Michaela can somehow tap into some spirit animal of aggression and really run blocking, I think you have 4 guys that have the talent to really be NFL level guys. And that at the college level means elite status on the O-line. Finally, we're there. Let's go. But those guys deserve a ton of credit. Played really well, played really hard. Even when they got out of position or guessed too far outside or whatever, really strained to come back and make their plays. I thought it was awesome. Defensively, we kind of already talked about it, but look, the turnover thing's the only thing this defense has been missing. They play assignment sound. They play physical. They play hard. They are deep on defense. I mean, good night. You played Reggie Powers, Hardy, Boganowski, RSJ, and Peyton Bowen all in this game at safety. That's 5 guys. And played elite defense against one of the top 2 or 3 offenses in all of college football. I'll take it. The D-line, Taylor Wine stepping up like he has all year with R. Mason out. PJ Adebaraway stepping up. Marvin Jones Jr. had some awesome reps in this game. And by the way, another guy who got mugged and got horse-collared from behind in the game, and we got a no call on as he just left a dude in the dust on the edge. Played really well. You are deep at that position. Those guys are playing really, really well. The interior, Halton, Jaden Jackson, Dominic Williams, and David Stone, just all great. But let's hope the momentum of these turnovers rolls over. Rolls over. You don't even get to play Kobe McKenzie this game, and still the linebackers looked really good. Owen Heineke, Omasigo, I think, is getting better and better. He overran some plays, but getting better and better and better. And man, if he gets it all together, is going to be a really good linebacker. I mean, his size and athleticism are awesome. And then now let's talk about the big topic, John Mateer. First of all, positive. Welcome back, sir. Welcome back. I don't know what happened from the first half to the second half. I don't know what went down right there. But there was that moment on TV, if you were watching the game at home, that there was Mateer and Arbuckle were on the bench together, and you see Arbuckle put his arm around Mateer and just shake him and start saying something. They both start laughing. I mean, I felt like that was Arbuckle going, bro, thank you. I don't know where you've been, but it's good to have you back. I don't know where you went. I don't know what the Monstars did with you, but you're here, and we need that version. He finally ran hard, didn't run scared, and finally just started slinging the ball again. It was catching the ball, throw. Catch the ball, throw. Like, he was back. I mean, if you watch the first half of that game, and then I played you the second half of that game, and you didn't watch it at all, I think you would think, oh, that's John Mateer, the true freshman, in one, and then this is him the next year being more comfortable. It was that kind of difference between those halves. Like, I don't know what happened there. I don't know if Brent Venables said you get one series and you better figure it out. And if you don't, Hawkins, I don't know. But that was not the same dude at all. Incredibly different game. And it was fun to watch. And thank you for doing it, because without it, I don't think you win that football game, even with all the turnovers and as good as the defense played. You needed that version of John Mateer to get out of there with a win. And you need that version of John Mateer for 2 halves if you have any chance of beating Alabama. Any chance. So again, I don't know what it was, but it was completely different. He saw the field well. He made great decisions. He was slinging the football again. And so I don't know. Now, I'd been speculating that maybe his knee was a problem. I know that we talked about way back when, several weeks ago, even when the thumb was injured, so it would have been the Auburn game, that there was a pretty big rap on his knee after a game. And I was thinking maybe that's why he's not throwing the ball as well. He keeps saying his thumb is good, but here's the deal. Both at the Texas game and it continues. If you watch John Mateer in pregame, he never high-fives with his surgery hand. He never catches a football with his surgery hand. He does nothing with his surgery hand. Nothing. So that hand is for sure still in pain and bothering him, which, of course, it's been like 3 weeks since you had a surgery on it. Okay, we get it. But if you're going to be out there, as Gabe Eicher likes to say, you got to play. If you're going to be on the field, you got to play, man. And you got to play well. And it just starts with looking at the field. I mean, again, nothing super egregious this week. But I go back to the last week's game against Ole Miss when, again, that same play. You have press coverage on Burks at the top of the screen on the TV. Satania's in the slot. They motion Satania. And when they motion Satania, the safety that's over, looks like cover 2, slides over with Satania, leaving, so you know you have Burks one-on-one in press coverage on the right side. Mateer never looked that way. And Burks won right off the line. It's a touchdown. It is a catch. Throw right now, basically like just a little seam route in all day. Never looked that way. Instead, looked Satania's way and all these guys' way, got in all kinds of trouble, rolls out, and it's too late. The safety comes over towards Burke as Mateer rolls out, and instead you end up with a field goal. 4 points lost on that drive. Momentum lost on that drive. We can't have that version of Mateer. He has got to have his eyes right, not guessing, and I don't know if that's what he's doing. I don't know if he just loves Satania and is just going to look that way every time. I don't know what it is, but it has to stop. And the second half of Mateer needs to come back. The running with that kind of speed. I don't need you taking all the hits you took in this game, but I need you running with that kind of velocity all the time when you run. And then when you get a chance to get down, get your butt down on the ground. Absolutely. We don't need you running the ball 16 times a game, which, by the way, Arbuckle, you can keep Mateer from running the ball 16 times if you'll just give it to X. The O-line's cooking right now. Let them cook. Okay? We'll see what happens moving forward. So let's now move to that. Let's transition to college football playoff talk. Before the season, the people who they liked OU, but said, man, I don't know. I can't pick them because of their schedule. That's what I heard 9 out of 10 people say if they were on the OU train. Now, there were some that were still like, OU's trash and blah, 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 blah. Fine. But the ones that were saying OU's going to be a lot better and OU's going to be really good and OU really has a chance this year. But I can't roll with them because this schedule is just a murderer's row. And even if OU's good, I think it's going to be a struggle. If that's true, and I think we have played it out that it is true, 9-3 should get this team in the playoffs. 9-3 should get this team in the playoffs. Period. They have more ranked wins, or they're up, they're probably in the top 5 of ranked wins right now in the country. Your losses are to a preseason number 1 and a team that's moving its way back into the rankings right now. and to an Ole Miss team that's a top 10 team. Like, those are your loss. And, like, Texas game was really bad with a quarterback coming off of surgery. And the other one, yeah, it's at home, but it's a really tight game, and you had every chance to still go win that game. And your quarterback still was playing like junk in that game. Now, I'll say it this way. If you can pull out a win against Bama and Mizzou or LSU, doesn't matter who, it is a 100% lock you're in the playoff, in my opinion. I don't know how you can see that schedule and a 9-3 record and tell me that that team shouldn't be in, with wins over Bama, wins over South Carolina on the road, win over Michigan, win over Tennessee on the road. Like, if you're going to do all that, win over Mizzou or LSU, like, what else do you have to do? Like, what else do you have to do to get in? Now, if you lose on the road to Alabama and don't get just obliterated, and you beat Mizzou or LSU, in my opinion, either Mizzou or LSU needs to be a dominant performance. It needs to be a just no doubter, man, OU came in here and did what they had to do. And I think that you're in. But I'll also say this. I don't care what the context of those wins are. I don't care what the margin is. In my opinion, you win 2 of the next 3 games, you're going to tell me that with that schedule, with the injuries that OU has had, with a quarterback coming off of surgery and now healthy at the end of the year, that OU is not as deserving as any Big 12 team that's 10-2, that OU's not deserving to any ACC team that's 10-2. And I'm sorry, Big 10, I don't care what team is 10-2 in the Big 10. Right now, that league is Ohio State and who? Indiana? And so all the others are what? That league is not good. USC's fine. They're fine, but they're still not good on defense. And they still have played around with losing to very mediocre teams. Not top 15 teams, not top 10 teams, mediocre teams. Like, that 10-2 team, we're going to let in. I mean, I'm sorry, man, but that league is not that great. I guess Oregon's pretty good, I guess. But they're also pretty good in the sense that they don't play anyone in that league. There are 3 teams in that league that are good. And one of the good ones they played beat them. Beat them. I don't know how you can argue that. I don't know how you can argue a 10-2 version of any of those with OU's schedule at 9-3. Even if Texas ends up with the same record as OU, you're going to tell me that Texas's schedule, just because there's a head-to-head win against OU, but that Texas's schedule deserves to be in at 9-3 with who they've played this season? I don't know about that. But Oklahoma, I'm sorry, I just don't know how you don't put them in. And so again, to ensure that you get there, I think it needs to be Bama and any other team that you win. Or if you only have your next 2 wins are Missouri and LSU, one of those wins has to be big. One of those wins has got to be big. That's the only way that you get in. But I do think you can get in with that. And so it's fun, man. It's fun. And by the way, for all those that have been begging for BV to leave, I think he's showing that this team's getting there, one. And you also have the number 1 recruiting class in 2027 coming in under this staff. And they continue to add to it. So I think maybe you let this guy build it out. And you're still playing a lot of young guys, too, that they've been able to bring in. Which, by the way, Cortland Guillory, who was just freaking out about that, but it was a great evaluation both by the recruiting staff and by BV and his staff. Look at that guy play. So the development is there. They are getting better all the time. And so it's been really, really fun. It's been a disappointing season at points for sure. I've been one of them, losing my mind as a fan. But this was a big statement win on the road for sure. Now they got to keep that momentum rolling. And again, if the defense continues to be who they are. Oh, I didn't even say Tate Sandell. Tate Sandell continues to be an NFL kicker playing in college right now. Then you know what? Like, you can go win 2 of the next 3, and I believe you can, write your ticket, if you will, to getting in the college football playoff. Now, let's move on to something else, shall we? Which, by the way, didn't get to come on the pod and say this. Got to be at Banner Drop Night. It was an incredible event. Really well done. Awesome night. Awesome game. Man, it's just incredible. But, guys, here we are, 7 games in the season, and guess what? 82-0 is still on the table. 82-0 is still on the table. And am I joking? Not really, but kind of, maybe, but no. Like, if there was ever a team that could do it, it's this one. And by the way, you are 7-0 through the season with no J-Dub, missing Chet through several of the games, Isaiah Joe not playing in several of the games, Caruso missing a game or 2. You still haven't even been healthy. You're also, you're dealing with a locker room that's hyper tight and very close to one another, and you've had to deal with distraction's a terrible word, but the off-field issues that impact a team like this with Topic's situation and with SGA's home being broken into. Hasn't fazed them. Just winning. Just winning. And playing teams that everybody wants to talk about are contenders in the West and just winning. I mean, that's all you're doing. And you still haven't really, until maybe against the Pelicans, shot the 3-ball well. Which, granted, it felt like the Pelicans just didn't even want to play basketball that night, which was kind of weird. So, yeah, man, this team just SGA continues to be SGA. AJ Mitchell is, I don't know if he continues this, he's going to be 6th man of the year. The Thunder are going to find a 2nd-round pick that's the 6th man of the year. You can't make this stuff up, man. You can't. Even Brandon Carlson, bro, like, picking him up off everybody just here. He's gone. He's out. Like, we'll bring him in. Let's see what happens with this guy. He's a great fill-in center for us. Fits the chemistry of the team well. Has a nice little game to him. Not a bruiser down there, but can shoot from the outside. Gives great hustle on defense. And just plays his role in the offense really well. Like, what a great piece, man. That just continue. Isaiah Joe's been on fire since coming back. Aaron Wiggins continues to save basketball. It's just, the defensive effort is just there, and it's awesome. It is awesome. And Troy is giddy about this team. I can't wait for him to really dive into the details of what's continuing to make this team evolve and get better and be so good, and what they're doing and how they're attacking things. But 7-0, the only undefeated team left in the NBA. So just stamping that this is a team that is ready to defend their title, and they are ready to play basketball every single night. It is so fun. The city having a blast and loving every second of it, man. Just huge. Huge. And we'll see as things continue to move forward. Probably nothing in the next few weeks that's going to come of this, but hopefully Troy will talk more about this. But Troy is convinced that at the end of the year, Isaiah Hartenstein is not going anywhere. Cason Wallace ain't going anywhere. And that the Thunder are full in to go into the tax and do whatever they have to do to keep whoever they want on this roster around to keep going if it is a team they feel like they can win with. And so just super fun, man. And they're on TV a lot, so make sure you're watching them. But, man, SGA, what a find. And a guy that we can really get behind and really just see lead this team. And truly is a superstar that elevates his teammates. That's the thing I love. He elevates his team. And it is fun to watch. And so, yeah, man, get out there, watch them, see them. We'll see what goes down this week. I'm excited about get into December when we play the Wemby role and see how Wemby does against this team. He's having a great year, but I want to see that throwdown. I hope Chet is healthy for it as well. It should be a lot of fun as we get to that for sure. So, again, no, we hadn't potted in a while. Hope that you guys are sticking with us despite our total inconsistencies. Again, we're not journalists, and this is not our full-time gig, man. This is our side hustle of just fun. It's a way for us just to interact with you guys as fans. We appreciate those of you that interact with us, that listen. Hope you'll continue to be a part of it. We're having a great time, and we hope that you are too. And so we'll talk to you guys later. Oh, and bye, Baker.
You can unhitch the wagon, put the ponies in the ball.